Welcome back to Chokitable Media. I want us to discuss a landmark judgment delivered on the 12th of September 2024. It has something to do with a matrimonial home, with marriage. A Muslim marrying a Christian or a Christian marrying a Muslim. And talking about Sharia court or Sharia marriage and conventional marriage, the one you do at the registry. I want you to come closer. Drop your church mind and drop your mosque mind and come and learn. This case is very important and you need to just drop whatever it is on your mind. Free your mind and listen to what really happened. There are a lot of things I want you to learn from this engagement of ours. Should you marry a Christian or should you marry a Muslim? How are you going to navigate? It is important to know how classes of marriages work in your favor. Sharia compliance marriage, conventional marriage, and the traditional marriage. These are the three classes, but how they work in your favor. One thing to note again in this is the issue of polygyny. When you are ready to do the polygyny thing, do you know more about it? Do you even think about the future? In case of that, for the wife, for the husband, or something. So, we need to know. We need to learn. One other thing I need to point out for us to know is the Sharia law in the northern part of Nigeria versus the conventional law in the southern part of Nigeria, and many more. So, ladies and gentlemen, another point I want you to note in this conversation is the part of the next of kin. How does next of kin work? Then think about it. The injustice that we used to melt out to each other when it comes to matter of property sharing, inheritance sharing, or your estates being shared after you might have gone. So let's get into the matter properly. 12th of September 2024. Landmark judgment on Islamic versus registry marriage. Murik commends Tajuddin Oladoja's son. The Muslim rights concern Murik has commended a legal luminary, Tajuddin Oladoja SAN, for securing a landmark judgment in favor of Islamic marriage, thus giving women married under Sharia the right to share in the inheritance of a husband who had married another woman at the registry. You see what I mean? Your husband married you at the registry and married the other woman with Sharia law, Islamic law. Now, who has the right to the properties? And that is what I'm pointing out. You should know this. The commendation was given in a statement credited to the executive director of Murik, Professor Isiaq Akintola. The statement was issued on Thursday, 12th September 2024, and the full statement reads: a major in Nigerian army, late Mohammed Arogun Adeniyi. It is the story of this major. The major died as a Muslim on 18th of October 2020. He was buried according to Muslim rite. He was survived by 3 wives, 1 Christian and 2 Muslims. Meanwhile, his next of kin, Nike Mohammed, who was the daughter of his Christian wife whom he married at the registry, Evangelist Mrs. Olabisi Mohammed, was paid all her father's entitlement to the exclusion of the other 2 wives and children. Apart from the properties, the total amounts paid to her was 36 million naira. The aggrieved Muslim wife challenged the matter at the upper court. Ilorin, Nike's mother, asked to be joined in the suit. Her request was granted. She challenged the jurisdiction of the Islamic court to hear the suit, since she was married under the Marriage Act. She insisted that his late father's property belongs to her and her daughter alone, to the exclusion of the deceased old parents and his two wives. However, the upper area court dismissed our argument. I'm talking about inhumanity against ourselves, against human. Can you see what I read out here? Even the mother was excluded from all the properties of the man after the man died, the major. Is this all right? Nike Mohammed and her mother appealed to Sharia Court of Appeal of Kwara State, where they got a surprising reversal of the lower Sharia Court's decision. The Sharia Court of Appeal of Kwara State ruled on 3rd of August 2020 that it was the Marriage Act law that should be used in determining the method of sharing the late major's inheritance. This was where the legal luminary came in. The legal bulldozer Tajuddin Oladoja took up the case and filed an appeal at Sharia Court of Appeal, Kano, bringing to bear his decades of experience at the bar as a senior learned counsel. The Kano Court of Appeal reversed the Kwara Sharia Court of Appeal's decision and upheld the trial upper court area ruling on Islamic inheritance distribution. The unanimous judgment in appeal number CA/IL/SH/1/2020 delivered on Friday 23rd of August 2024 by Justice Mohammed Lawal Shuaib, Justice Abubakar Muazul Lamido, and Justice Ahmed Rahmat Mohammed directed the daughter of the late Major Mohammed Arogunadeni, Nike Mohammed, and her mother, Evangelist Mrs. Ola Bisi Mohammed, to surrender all the late Major's properties and belongings, the benefit and entitlement for distribution to his heir in accordance to Islamic law. The sociological impact of this landmark judgment is that the only Nike Mohammed and her mother had inherited all the properties of the late Major Adeniyi, while even the deceased aged mother and his true Muslim wife got nothing. They were thus left to suffer in abject poverty until Kano Sharia Court of Appeal upturned the decision of the lower court of appeal. Takeaways from the judgment include the following. 1. This case had highlighted the humane nature of Islamic Sharia law. In the registry marriage system, the only wife and children will inherit everything belonging to the late husband, leaving nothing for his old parents. Which one will you prefer? I'm asking you. That your mother should be left out of your property even if you die before your parents. Will you be happy? But Islamic inheritance system will share the man's properties among the wives, the children, the old parent, if any, his sibling, etc. 2. The judgment established beyond any reasonable doubt that there is indeed a dichotomy between native law and Islamic law when the court said there is in fact exists a legal dichotomy between native law and Islamic law, which has now been recognized by the 1999 Constitution. In fact, the 1999 Constitution established 3 distinct legal systems operating currently in Nigeria: the English common law and statutes enacted by various tiers of government, the native law and custom of the people, as long as it meets the repugnancy test, the Islamic law, which by its very nature is an absolute law. 3. That the marriage of a Muslim man to a Christian woman under the Marriage Act does not imply a renunciation of his faith. So if you marry a Christian woman, it doesn't mean that you have to renounce your faith because of her, or you've renounced your faith when you are gone and you are not living anymore. Let your Christian wife, let them know that you still remain a Muslim even after your death. So your property doesn't belong to her alone, it belongs to everybody. The learned judges declared it is also pertinent to note that there is no argument as to the fact that the deceased who lived and died a Muslim was free to marry a Christian woman. So nobody is contesting that. If you want to marry, it's up to you who you marry. The judges continue. The fact that he married the second respondent under the Marriage Act does not mean that he renounced his Islamic faith. Furthermore, the deceased, being a Muslim, was also entitled to marry more than one wife, but not exceeding 4 wives at a given time, as ordained in the Quran in chapter 4, verse 3, which thus read, "And if you fear that you will not deal justly with the orphan girls, then marry those that please you of other women, 2 or 3 or 4. But if you fear that you will not be just, then marry only one, or those your right hand possesses, that is more suitable, that you may not be inclined to injustice." Adding thus, his subsequent marriages under Islamic law, which he had chosen, was therefore in consonance with his constitutional guarantee law, Section 38 1A and B of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. The major married an evangelist, Mrs. Olabisi Mohammed, under the Marriage Act does not mean he renounced his Islamic faith. In other words, the deceased has not changed the factory setting of his religion as a Muslim merely by contracting the registry marriage with the evangelist. 4. Concerning the determination of the applicable law to govern the estate of a Muslim who married a Christian under the Marriage Act, the Court of Appeal held that the administration of the estate of a person who lived and died a Muslim but married a Christian under the Marriage Act is governed by Islamic law. The deceased major, though married to his first wife, evangelist Mrs. Olabisi Mohammed, under the Marriage Act, was born a Muslim, lived a Muslim, and died as one. 5. On the method of proper interpretation of status, the court held thus: the learned Qadis of the Sharia Court of Appeal of Kwara State, Ilorin, are oblivious of the fact that Islamic law is not the same as customary law, as it does not belong to any particular tribe. Thus, it is a complete system of universal law, more certain and permanent and more universal than even the common law. Get that one clear as well. These pronouncements are monumental, crucial for the ongoing debate on legality or otherwise of Islamic marriage vis-a-vis statutory marriage or marriage conducted at the registry. This judgment has opened a new window in the Islamic legal cycle regarding the eligibility of a woman married under the Sharia for the properties of her husband, even in the face of subsisting statutory marriage. Tajuddin Oladaja's son has deployed his well-known courtroom oratory and his long experience at the bar to cut a new path and bringing succor to Muslim women who had suffered deprivation and neglect from the Nigerian society, strictly adherence to highly conservative and ruthless colonial legal system. Murik celebrates this great Muslim son for coming out openly to identify with the Sharia legal system and defending it until he secured victory for it. Islamdom will write his name in letters of gold. Professor Ishaq Akintola, founder / executive director, Muslim Rights Concern, Murik. So, you've heard it. What is your own comment? Kindly put your comment in the comment section. And if you know more about this case, let us learn from you. Put your experience and your comment in the comment section. Let us all read. Let us all learn, because this is very important. It's happening every day. This is what happened in the society, and we can't deny it. It will still continue happening. We will keep marrying each other. The Christian will marry Muslim. Muslim will marry Christians. And, when you marry, things will keep on going good. But when death comes, then it is at that time, if you are successful in life, your estate is there to be shared. But in that case, what are you going to do if you are no more? You can fight back.
If one of your wives said she and our children are going to be the only entity to take care or to take all your estate that you left behind,
even in the grave, you wouldn't even be happy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even your God, your creator, will not even be happy with you. Yeah. Can you really blame these guys? Can you blame the Christian wife that you marry as a Muslim? Because it is the law, the colonial law, the customary law, the one you signed at the registry when you were doing it. So it wouldn't be their fault as well. But one thing I know is that they should also be, magnanimous. They should also do what? Be kind to the other wives. Because, your husband has gone into a polygyny marriage. You are not the only one. So should you now take all the properties?
All his sweat, his pension and gratuity acquired by him
now belongs to you alone. I don't see that to be more humane. So let's discuss this. I'll put your opinion in the comment section. So, and that's why I ask you to drop your church mind and I drop your mosque mind so that you have a free mind to discuss. Thank you for listening. Listen to this again. Put on your notification button and like this channel. God bless you as you do. Bye for now.